Hey guys, it's Rob. I hope you're all doing well. I've been gone for a bit, I know, but I'm back now. I got some new equipment, I cut my own hair, and I'm ready to make some videos. Now, while some people said that the Ninja Star Boomerang was fake, it doesn't work, or it just isn't fun to play with, my new kitten Suki is a professional at it, as you can see, and she absolutely loves to play with it. In all seriousness though, I do want everyone to be able to fold it and also to enjoy it and have it returned to them. So today I'm going to introduce the Ultra-Lite Ninja Star Boomerang. It uses a lot less paper, 2 1/8 strips of printer paper, so it's a little bit easier, lighter, and simpler to fold and interlock. Not only that, but with 1 sheet of printer paper you can make 4 Ultra-Lite Ninja Star Boomerangs. Even though it flies in a little bit of a smaller circle, it comes back super fast and it's easy to catch. If you saw my Origami convention video, you'll see that with practice, I got just about everyone to fold and catch their boomerangs. If you use the right paper and you practice throwing and folding it, you'll be a pro in no time and it will come back to you. I'll explain the paper you need and also some troubleshooting tips towards the end. So without further ado, let's get folding the Ultra-Lite Ninja Star Boomerang. I'm using bright letter-sized paper with a GSM of 89, which tells you how thick the paper is, but pretty much any 8.5 by 11 letter-sized or A4 proportion paper will work fine. Just note the weight on the package or cover. I found a GSM or thickness of the paper between 75 to 100 works the best. Anything below or above that may be too flimsy or heavy and not fly properly. We'll have to get the paper's width into eighths like these strips, which means we'll have to cut the paper in half 3 separate times. If you'd like 2 different colors, then you'll have to do it with 2 sheets. Hold the paper so that the longer edges are horizontal and fold it in half lengthwise. You can use scissors, or if you're good at tearing, you can do that. I like to first press in the middle and slowly line up the paper to the right and left before I make the final crease. We can finally fold the paper in half one last time and then tear it. When you've done that 3 times, your paper will look like this. For the second piece, you can keep the other half you just tore away or use a different color. Let's take the left side and fold it across to the right side. Hold it so that the edges are aligned and just crease it on the left side by just running your fingernail against it. You can open it up so that it looks like a little mountain and set it down on the table. The right edge is going to go down into this vertical line, so just line it up and then give it a crease on the right side here. Now we can take the left side and fold it up onto that vertical line, also making a crease on the outside here. Then we could flip it over. Just give it a quick press to flatten it out and you'll notice there's a horizontal crease here. Lift up the right side so that it is even on the bottom with the left side, as you could see here. Now I'm just going to take my fingers here, my 2 pointers, and pinch it in the middle and set it down on the table. And I'm going to lift the bottom edge to the top, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space. As you'll see from here to there, it's about 3 to 4 millimeters. Then you can just pinch it in the middle with your 2 fingers like that. And just press down gently in the middle, making a little pinch in the paper like this. Now that we've marked the distance in the middle, we have to make sure that the edge is the same distance and parallel to the top one all throughout. So I'm just going to bring it up a little closer here because I want it to be 3 to 4 millimeters. And then I can crease it all throughout the right and do the same with the left side, making sure that this edge here on the bottom aligns with the top one equally. Then you can just run your fingernail against the bottom edge just to ensure that it's really sharp and easy to fold. Being careful not to pull it apart. I'm going to lift up the middle portion and the bottom edges that we just folded in, unfold the right side, and you'll see that we now have 2 new creases in the paper here. You see there's one here and the other here. On the top one, we can actually just take that edge and fold it down because it's in the right direction, but this one is a mountain fold and we need to flip it. So just simply set it down on the table and put your nail directly in it and kind of press on it. You can also lift up the paper and kind of look at the crease so you can press on the opposite ends and just flatten everything out. You'll notice the bottom right edge was lifted up and the top left edge was lifted down so that they're now overhanging, as you could see here. There should be a gap of about 3 to 4 millimeters, like I said previously. Flip it over, set it down, and we can move on. Now you've got past the hard part, so you can just unfold these edges that we just folded in, and we're going to airplane fold both of the corners here into the midline. The right triangle that you see should be bigger than the left one. Once you've completed that, then you can do the same on the other side, and we're going to fold the edges back down so that we have the overlaps and flatten everything out. Now we can just lift both sides at the little corner that we have near the diamond in the middle, and we're ready to make another one. Now that we have two pieces, fold them up slightly at the corner near the center diamond where I've drawn the line, and place the one on the right perpendicular over the left one. We can then fold the top arm of the boomerang down and go in a clockwise direction. Proceed to fold the second and then the third. You'll notice because of the overlap it will not fit perfectly, and this is okay. Just proceed to slightly untuck the first one and bend the last one so that you can tuck it underneath the first. Now that it's tucked in, we need to make sure that the middle is tight, so pull on the opposite arms gently and make sure that they're folded all the way up to that corner. Press down firmly in the middle and flatten everything out. We can now fold that overlap or airfoil down so it's laying on top of the other edge as flat as possible. So fold it down along the edge all the way to the center just like that. If it rips slightly at the center, it's usually okay. But just try and be gentle and it should look like this. Fold them all down along the other edge and crease them sharply. Once we've finished folding all four of the airfoils or flaps down, we can flip it over and we're going to flatten it down with our fingernail and sharpen the ends. This is necessary to help it spin and fly. Once you've finished all this, you've done the Ultra-Lite Ninja Star Boomerang and you're ready to do a test flight. To throw it, first inspect it and make sure it's neat, flat, and that there are no major bends. Also, hold it so the four interlock squares are facing the left. Grab it between your right pointer and middle finger on the end of an arm, and the rest of it should be facing your body. Curl your wrist, and we're going to throw it slightly out, slanting to the left like this. Okay, so it went to the left. Let's try that again. Okay. So the boomerang works well. Just make sure you're flicking your wrist at the correct speed and not holding on to the boomerang for too long, or it can go to the ground or spin off to the left. It needs to spin sideways at an angle like a frisbee, so you need to get that curved wrist action going. If it goes to the left more than once, try adjust it by bending the arms away from the square side just like this. Then try throwing it once again and it should fly better. Suki! I hope you guys enjoyed the video for the Ultra-Lite Ninja Star Boomerang. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below and click that notification and subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm trying to come out with more videos. I know it takes me a while, and that's because I've been trying to make more original videos, meaning I've been trying to design my own things, and that takes time, but it shouldn't take that long. I'd also like to expand and try different things. I was thinking another Rubik's Cube video. I was thinking other cool paper stuff, maybe quick things like other paper footballs and stuff like that. I also did a live Zoom session where I taught a couple different things. Happy birthday, Frankie. I think that there might be other people who might want to perhaps do that, and if I set up like a Patreon or something where we can communicate and maybe do live sessions. I bought some new equipment. I'm working on my editing technique to make it easier for me, because when I do teach it sometimes, I talk during the teaching, and that makes it 10 times harder, because if I mess up, I wind up having to start all over again. So it takes so long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate more on the filming aspect, and then just double over it later and explain it really well that way. See if you like it. So if you did like the different angles in the video, let me know. Give me a comment down below and let me know if you have any ideas for something you'd like to see in the future. Alright guys, I gotta take a nap and rest my back. So I'll see you soon.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video.